Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. So glad to be back with all of you after a few weeks. So we're gonna touch on some different Instagram features and how they translate to what you're trying to accomplish with your business. And then also we're gonna break down day by day this week what are some things that you can talk about that are Thrive related. If you're needing help with your niche stuff, there is another Zoom that you can come back and on my page and watch, but we've gone over that a couple times, so I don't want to keep being repetitive with the same message, but I want to give you some tools, and then we're going to go talk about how can we introduce Thrive every day this week, and some strategies around that too. So first, let's talk about Instagram features and what is the purpose behind them as it relates to your business. So I'm going to break down the different features, and you can kind of think of it this way in Facebook as well. If you're not somebody that's utilizing Instagram, Facebook obviously is owned by the same person, so they have a lot of the same features. I just found this information and it was really helpful, so I wanted to provide it to you guys too. So let's break it down. So your feed, when someone hops onto your feed, this can either be your Facebook feed or your Instagram feed. So when they're looking at your page, your pictures, your videos, like whatever you do, your feed is to provide value and that is related to your niche. So again, I have a video that explains more in depth if you haven't gone through that process of how you can provide value around something so that people continue to come back to your page, and then you can introduce Thrive in other ways. But the feed is for people when they're coming to your page, they can click on something and they can get value from you. And they're like, oh, I like this information. That's really helpful. So they keep coming back. It's not gone are the days of just posting pretty pictures with like inspirational quotes or whatever. If you want to truly build an audience and you want people to come back to your page consistently and listen to the things that you're having to say, and you're wanting to convert into sales, you really need to focus on how are some ways that I can provide value outside of Thrive so that people keep coming back to my page. I think of a great example of this might be like if Brittany Strike, it does a lot of makeup stuff. So like people will continually come back to her page because she talks about makeup, but she also translates that into Thrive. But the makeup piece is what keeps people coming back, and it's what's growing her following. So I just wanted to give that specific example. So your feed is to provide value related to your niche, whatever, however you want to pronounce it. Your highlights. So on Instagram, there's those highlight bubbles that you see. This is to showcase what your page is about. So for instance, my page is about helping other moms get their energy back and take control of their health. So my bubbles will reflect that. So it'll show like my workouts, my food, the supplements I'm using, yada, yada, yada. So like, let's say you're a single mom and you want to help other single moms battle or try to get through single motherhood. Maybe you could have like tips to keep your kids busy, self-care tips, whatever, other things. So whatever you're wanting to, when someone hops on their page, what is a quick snapshot of them to see how they can get value from you, from your page? Your story is to build trust and you sell in it. So I think we cross the lines and we think that when we're posting, that is where you're supposed to sell, but actually your stories are where you're building trust with people by letting them into your life, and kind of they can get a glimpse of like who you are as a person because you're talking and you're showing them behind the scenes and you're relating to them. But this is also where you talk about your sales. This is where you talk about the things that you have to offer. This is where you convert people because you're building that trust through your feed and through your stories. DMs or Messenger, this is where you create relationships and this is where you sell. This is obviously where you close your sales. You don't close them in the comment section of your post. That's literally the only other example, I suppose. So when you're in Messenger, that is how you create relationships and sell. So a little strategy that I shared on I believe it was the Friday morning Zoom. I think I shared this, but it's something that I also was talking to my team about the other day. If you're really trying to create intimate relationships with people, you need to obviously be engaging with other people's pages, because you have to give love in order to receive love. And the best way to do that is through engagement. So a lot of the times we'll go to other people's posts and we'll comment on their posts. So like, let's say, for example, somebody went to the beach in your area and you're like, oh, did you like it? What spot of the lake were you on? You normally like will comment that stuff. And sometimes you'll get like a short response, or sometimes people won't even respond back to your comments. And you're like, well, that was a waste of time. What if instead of responding in their comment section of their post, you just sent them a message? So sending them a message, hey, I saw your post about you going to the beach with your kids. Like, did you pack snacks? What did your kids, what floaties did you use? What part of the beach did you go to? Like, actually building a conversation within Messenger. And I explain it this way, that their comment section of their post is like having a conversation in the living room. If, like, let's say there's a bunch of people there or whatever, because that's what the comment section is. There's like a bunch of people that are viewing those comments. So let's say you're having a gathering and you're having a conversation with somebody. Chances are you're not going to get super intimate with that conversation in the living room with everyone around you, because they can hear your conversation. They can see what you're talking about. So if you're wanting to, like, maybe you have to like address something sideways, or like you have an issue you want to deal with, you're not going to just have that hash out in front of everybody in the living room. So you would take that to a more private area, which would be like a bedroom or another room that's disclosed or whatever. Messenger is like that separate space that's a little more private. People are more willing to open up and be a little more vulnerable with the things that they're telling you when you're in Messenger, because it's not on for the world to display. So a good way for you to start building relationships quicker with people is, instead of always commenting on their post for engagement, what if you just took that conversation to Messenger instead? So DMs are to create relationships and close the sale. Reels, this is how you grow your following on Instagram right now. Reels and hashtags. Reels are the best way for you to organically grow your following. If you're not aware of what Reels are, they're like TikTok for Instagram. So that's creating little videos around your niche. If you're afraid to do it, I suggest that you just start doing it. Like, if you're always going to wait for that time when you don't feel fearful, you're going to be waiting forever. And if you don't feel prepared, the only way that you're ever going to feel like you got a handle on something is if you actually submerge yourself in it and just do the thing. So if that, like, we have this group with Brittany Strike, that's the Destination 12K, but a question that she had asked in there was like, what are some of the things you're not doing? Because we always talk about the things that we are doing. We're always like, but I'm commenting on people's things, and I'm sharing my steps in my stories, and I'm posting every day, and I'm adding people to my network. But the actual realization and growth in your business is when you start to look in the mirror and say, okay, what are the things that I'm not doing that I know I should be doing, but maybe I'm fearful of it. Maybe I just feel like I don't feel prepared for it. Those are the things that you need to start doing more of, because obviously if you're doing this bundle of things that on a daily basis, you're doing all these other things and you're not seeing the growth that you want to, that growth that you're desiring is outside of your comfort zone in the things that you're not doing at this moment in time. So maybe if you are doing Reels and you're not super consistent with it, getting more consistent with it. If you're not doing them at all, I really highly suggest that you start doing them. So, and who cares if you get like 5 views on it? Because the next one you might get 10, and then the next one you might get 20, and then the next one you might get 30, and then all of a sudden you start building following and stuff like that. So the only way that you're going to feel comfortable doing them and actually get better at doing them is by actually doing them. So Reels is the best way to organically grow your following on Instagram right IGTV, this is to teach and serve. So this is like IGTV/live on Facebook. So if you're going live on Facebook, it's to teach people or to serve people or to give them information. One more thing I wanted to talk about, because like I know we always want to sell. We're in the sales industry, obviously, so we are going to sell, but our default is that we want to sell on our feed, when our default should be we should be providing value in our feed. And I want to tell you that when you're providing value first and then like talking about it in your stories or occasionally making a post about a sale or a promo or a thing that you have, but you've done all this providing value on the back end, and that's what you do the majority of the time, what you're doing is actually creating curiosity. And when you create curiosity leads to conversation, and that conversation then leads to the sales. If you're just, you know, that saying like, why would they buy the cow if you're giving the milk for free? If you're just constantly talking about sales all the time, people aren't going to want to come back. That used to be a strategy that worked maybe in like 2015 or 14 when this whole thing was so new. But now that people, like everybody is on social media, they're not looking to hop onto Instagram or Facebook or whatever to be sold typically, or they don't know that they need something. They're just looking for entertainment or for information, usually. So if you're looking at your page and your feed, are you doing one of those two things? Are you entertaining your audience, and are you informing your audience in some way, shape, or capacity? If you're looking at your page and it just looks like Thrive threw up all over it, and it's only you talking about how you have a sale and you have a bonus that you're working towards and you have this thing and you need this thing. I mean, think of when you see the posts where people are like, I need people to help. I need to reach my goal and I'm looking for 5 people that are willing to help me. Like, how icky does that feel? Like, yes, you might get some people that are like, sure, that are empathetic and just want to help other people that will do that for you. But the majority of people are like, ugh, that doesn't feel good because it's all about you and it's not about someone else. Your page is not about you. Your pages are about the people that you're trying to reach. So yeah, it might be nice for you to talk about, like always talk about what your goals are and your family and your things. But if you're not providing value and giving information and entertaining people, what's going to keep them from coming back, you know? So I just wanted to talk about those features. I can run through them real quick. Feed is to provide value related to your niche. Highlights is to showcase what your page is about. Your story, or stories is to build trust and sell. Your direct messages or messenger is to create relationships and sell. Reels are to grow your following, and Instagram TV or live on Facebook is to teach and serve your audience. So those are the different features and how they translate when it relates to your business. So now we're going to break down, this might actually be a pretty short Zoom today, but we're going to break down what do we talk about this week, or how do we bring up Thrive, right? Because that's our goal. We want, yes, we have things that we're going to provide value to our audience around different topics, but we have to have a way to introduce Thrive too, because otherwise we won't make money, right? And people need the things that we have to offer. They just might not know it yet, or we just need to position ourselves so they can see that. So if you're looking at the month or the week or both, something that's really important is to like get inside of the person's head that you're trying to reach. So where are they at in their day? Where are they at in their week or their month or that sort of thing? If you're talking about getting paid income on a Friday, that's a payday. Like, people aren't typically concerned about income on a Friday because they're getting paid. They just saw their paycheck hit. Things are good. When would be the best time to talk about a payday post? Probably on a Tuesday right before payday, because people are starting to run out of their money. They've, paid all their bills and now they're like scrounging together change to put in gas. And so understanding like, where are like my people in in their day, in their week, in their month. So this week we have Father's Day on Sunday, next Sunday. But usually Lavelle will throw out a promo for Father's Day. I looked, and last year it was buy two, get one. So we need to make sure that we're setting the stage for some sort of promo, because I'm almost positive they'll do something. And if not, you should have other promos that you are putting together on your own, or you're collaborating with your upline to create. You're a business owner. You shouldn't always be relying on the company, obviously, to run promos. So if they, in fact, don't come out with something, take this week to think of what is something that I could provide if they don't have a promo. Because yes, we are so blessed with this company that they're constantly throwing stuff at us to grow our business and to help our customers and stuff like that. But you can't always rely on that. Sometimes you need to be the business owner that you are and come up with your own ideas. So whether that's you're reaching out to your upline and you're like, hey, I really want to offer a promotion for my customers. Like, what is something that you might suggest? I only have 25 in credits or 25 in cash or whatever cash back that I can offer. Like, what would you suggest that I do? And maybe they'll come back and say they're willing to help you with something. But coming up with some idea in case Lavelle doesn't throw a Father's Day promo. So you got to be thinking about that all week. So there's going to be a promo on Sunday. We don't just wait, or Saturday, or whenever they decide to do it. You don't just wait until the promo hits before you start talking about it. You need to make sure that you're setting the stage the beginning of the week. So that might look like if you're married, you're talking about your husband and like how he utilizes the products and how it helps him and yada, yada, yada. And maybe you're talking about how it helps you guys have a better relationship with your children and da, 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 da. So sharing out how Thrive is helping you every single day, which is something you should already be doing, but you need to be setting the stage and thinking about who are the people that I've talked to. Start compiling a list of people that have expressed interest in the past, or maybe they've sampled with you before. Start writing those names down so that when they do drop a promo, you're not like scrambling the day of trying to figure out how am I gonna figure out all the people that might need this and reach out to them. Start ahead of time reaching out to those people and starting up that conversation again, maybe not even talking about Thrive. So then when you're following up with them on Saturday, when Lavelle drops a promo, it doesn't just come out of nowhere. Like, you've spent the time already reconnecting that relationship at the beginning of the week, and then transitioning into a follow-up like, hey, by the way, you had said before you were interested in Thrive, or you loved your sample, or you felt so good on your sample. I just wanted to let you know that this weekend I have this promo going on. So that's kind of an understanding of like what might happen next weekend and how to set up the stage for the week. But I'm going to break down day by day. So tomorrow is Monday, obviously. And what are people on Monday? They're tired. They're recouping from the weekend. There was probably lots of grad parties and stuff like that going on this last weekend. So they might be exhausted because they've been running around everywhere. They've been trying to entertain their kids. Moms are at home with their children now because school is over. So what are the things you need to be talking about on a Monday? You need to be talking about energy. You need to be talking about keeping up with your kids. You need to talk about how it doesn't matter what day of the week it is, that you are energetic and focused, and Mondays like used to be horrible for you and now they're good. Like, these are the things you should be sharing in your stories or via live video, and opening your mouth and talking about them. So people are tired on a Monday. They don't want to go to work. So maybe if you have seen success in this business and maybe you are just working from home, talking about that freedom that you have, that you don't have to get up to a specific alarm and answer to somebody and punch in the clock or whatever. So understanding where your audience is on a Monday. Tuesday, it's obviously our payday on Tuesday. It's also halfway through the month. So some people might be getting paid on the 15th, but It's halfway through the month as well. So talking about maybe the little things that you're able to buy with your paycheck, because not everyone obviously can relate to, look at this giant thing that I just bought, or I get my car paid for every month. Sometimes people are just looking to get extra gas in their vehicle. So really focusing and honing in on the little things that your paychecks are helping you with. If you aren't currently getting a paycheck, you still need to talk about the business, because if you don't talk about the business before the paycheck, you will never earn the paycheck. So what are ways that you can do this? You can talk about what are the things you're looking to accomplish with the business. You could maybe bring on another person that has seen some success in a live interview and just ask them some questions. You can highlight a Lavelle fan page story. You can, again, talk about like what you're wanting to accomplish, because when you're talking about the things that you're looking to accomplish with the business, maybe that's like you're talking about, I can't wait. I'm so close to being at the second rank of the company where I will get my car paid for every single month, because that's a huge stressor for me, or has been in the past. When you're talking about those things, you're bringing them about in your life too. But if you're constantly focusing on maybe the place you're at and it's not where you want to be, and you're just focusing on, well, I don't have enough of a paycheck, so how can I talk about Thrive? If you're constantly thinking in that mindset, you will constantly remain in that place. But if you're talking about what is your future going to look like, you are unsubconsciously, or you're subconsciously like driving yourself towards that thing that you're looking to desire. So if you don't have a paycheck, talk about the things that you want. Talk about the things that you're looking to do. Maybe it's you sharing about your dream board that you're creating. Maybe it's, collaborating with your kids on something that they want and they're putting it on your dream board. Maybe it's you're talking about you're saving all of your paychecks together so that you can pay one big bill every month. Like whatever it is, don't think you have to make $2,000 a week to talk about the business, because if you're not willing to do it before then, you'll never reach that point. Wednesday's hump day. People are like, oh my God, it's the middle of the week and I still have like 3 more days until the weekend. Or kids or moms that are home with their kids, they're like, oh my gosh, is this week going to ever end? Because their kids are constantly asking for snacks. Talk about those funny things that everyone thinks that maybe not everybody talks about. So on a Wednesday, talk about like how many times your kids have asked you for snacks today, and you're so thankful you have food support, because otherwise you could probably strangle them. Or if you're going to a job, talk about like how Wednesday is the longest day of the week because it's smack dab in the middle, or whatever it looks like. People are needing energy in the middle of the week. They're starting to look forward to the weekend. They've already had a couple punches thrown at them from Monday and Tuesday, so they're looking to recover from that. That's what I would talk about on a Wednesday, because it's the middle of the week. Thursday is Friday Eve. Thursday, a lot of people say Thankful Thursday. I think that's a really good thing to talk about, is like, what are the little things that you're grateful for that your products are your products are giving you? Things that maybe like unexpected things that you didn't initially come in to the business or started using the products for. Because you can talk about energy all day long, but maybe there's a person on your page that is just needing a better night's sleep. Or maybe there's somebody on your page that needs focus. Like you used to struggle with staying alert throughout the day and paying attention and things like this, and that maybe Thrive helps you really get a lot more focused and have that mental clarity. So what is an unexpected benefit that you did not see coming before you started the products, and speaking on that? And then maybe you can highlight like a plus line item that helps you out a lot with that. So like, let's say you weren't expecting to get improved sleep, and you're like, and this is something that I take on a daily basis that truly helps me get a good night's sleep, and that changes everything with, keeping up with my kids, or with getting up in the morning to get to work, or really de-stress after I've had a stressful day, or like whatever that sounds like. So finding some sort of plus line or an unexpected benefit from the 3 steps that you've utilized on Thursday. I would talk about that in your stories or in a post or something like that. Friday. People typically, I've noticed for me, but maybe yours is different. I've noticed if I'm trying to post or reach people Friday after 5, good freaking luck. Like nobody is on their phones. People are starting to do things with their families. Maybe they're going camping. Maybe they're doing all that stuff. So understanding where your person is probably at on a Friday. They're excited that they get to be outside with their kids. Maybe they're excited that they got these awesome plans on the weekend. They're not really focusing on anything that you have to say after 5 o'clock. That's just for me personally. If that's you as well, like drop it in the comments, because I hope I'm not the only one, but I typically think that's how people are. So when would be a good time for you to resonate with somebody on a Friday? In the morning, when they're just getting ready for their day. And another time that I've really realized is beneficial for me, and if it's hard for you because you got a job or whatever, like don't sweat it. You can talk in your stories and people can watch that at any time. I found a lot of success for some reason posting about samples and energy 2 to 3 p.m. on a Friday. People are checked out at work. They are tired because they just ate lunch like a couple hours ago. They're just like watching the clock, crawl by, that sort of thing. So a really good day to post about samples and a good time is Fridays from 2 to 3 for whatever reason. So you talking about how you have samples available, because then you can have the whole weekend to prepare those samples and send them out on Monday, or if you do them from the back office, whatever. But that is how you can start to, you having a specific day that you're talking about samples, make sure that you're continually talking about them, because that is the key, one of the major keys to our business. I literally think that if you feel like you're stagnant in your business, asking yourself, how many samples have I gotten out? And that is the answer. When people try these products, they feel good on them. So the last 2 people that I've sent samples out to, one signed on as a promoter, the other one signed on as a customer. So you cannot tell me that samples are not key to this business. I think nearly every person I brought in as at least a promoter started on a sample. So making sure that you're having some sort of strategy around talking about samples, having a specific day that you talk about samples. So then there's some predictability with your audience too. Like if they're wanting to get one for you, you pack them up on Friday over the weekends and you ship them out on Monday so they can come to you. Maybe they're not ready this week, but they're ready the following week. So having some sort of predictability. Saturdays are hard again, because especially if it's nice outside, because people are typically like with their families and doing things. And like, especially in this season, people are going to graduation parties or weddings or whatever. But does that mean you don't post? Absolutely not. You need to remain consistent and still show up. So typically what I like to do is if I'm doing something or I'm busy with my family, talking about how my patch is getting me through the day. Like, have a super busy day. I'm thankful for this patch or these capsules or whatever that is going to help me like navigate this insane day that I have going forward. And sometimes that can be just easy as showing your patch, or it can be your, taking a picture of like what you're doing and your patch happens to be in the background, that sort of thing. And we're also trying, if there's a promotion, obviously talking about that too. So that kind of gives you an idea of where people are in the week. I also like to look at the month as a whole too, because you got to understand some people get paid on the 1st, the 15th, and the 30th. So sometimes talking about paychecks on those days might not be the best thing. Might be the day before, might be a couple days before, after. Understanding where people are at for like holidays and different seasons of their life. Like I said, we're in summer now. So people are going to graduation parties, people are going to weddings, people are wanting to look and feel better when they're going swimming or, out with their kids and they want to, feel comfortable in shorts or whatever. Talk about those things. Talk about embracing them, but also feeling confident in your own skin because you're taking care of yourself too. So where are people's heads at in the month, in the day, and in the week? So that is all I have for you guys today. I hope that was helpful. Usually I leave like a couple minutes open for questions at the end. I just feel like I talked super fast and maybe that's why it's so short. But everyone's got stuff going on a Sunday, so take a picture for your stories, talk about community. I should have this recording up within the next half hour for you guys if you want to rewatch or send to somebody on your team. I'm going to take a picture real quick. And then obviously next week, same time, same place. Have an amazing Sunday.